Hey guys, welcome to Trans Youth Channel. It's Sunday, and this is a very big topic. Like, this is probably like the 11th time I've filmed this. So, it's another advice topic, and the reason we're doing advice topics is because it's going over well. We're getting a lot of community activity. We're getting people commenting, we're getting people asking questions, we're getting people viewing, and the person who sought the advice saw the advice. So that's very important because we helped out a community and we caused a burst in activity in our community, which is a huge deal. Keep it up, guys. Post your comments and stuff down here. We want to hear what you have to say about the topics. That having been said, the actual topic this week is from an anonymous person. They do not want themselves to be disclosed. And I have very little context to put you on. So, I do have a little bit of stuff that I can tell you, being that this person is male to female, under the age of 18, has immense dysphoria, borderline to suicide. Like, if I do not transition, I will commit suicide because that's better than living as a guy. And the biggest problem is that her parents are very into the strict gender binary. There's man, there's woman, nothing in between, which is the root problem. So I want to break this into 3 topics. This is going to be a long video. I'm really sorry about that. But basically, here it goes. So this person is under the age of 18, really wants to start her transition, but her parents won't accept it. She's very afraid of that. I'm operating under the assumption that she has not come out, and I want to break it into 3 topics, being before you come out, what you need to do, when you come out and they reject you, and when you come out and they accept you. This is very huge. A lot of us have experience in this area, and it's a very important thing to talk about for those who are not starting their transitions yet. So the first things first. You're not 18 yet, and the first thing of advice I'm going to give you is wait until you're 18, but that may not be possible. The reason I say wait until you're 18 is because after the age of 18, you have a lot more opportunities to keep yourself afloat if it goes bad or it goes wrong. What I mean when I say that is, when you're 18, you have chances at a higher paying job, you can sign an apartment lease, you can get loans, you can get help, and you have a lot more at your disposal. Things that you can do before you come out to your parents, because I understand you're under the age of 18, I suggest building a trans map. And I'm going to be frank with you this whole video. I'm going to be very, very curt with you. I'm not lecturing you or anything. I'm just saying I want to get this through as logically and step by step as possible. So come up with a trans map. Go to transmap.org.com or something like that and start researching. Research the transition and get everything ready. And basically what you got to do is you got to say, okay, by 3 months I'll do this. By 6 months I'll be here. And at 7 months I'll start this. And everything like that. You have to have that prepared. And then along with that, you need to have a financial backing, you need to have a community, and you need to understand your future with your parents. The first one being, you need a job to save up for money because transition costs, and you need to be financially secure. In the worst case scenario, you will be kicked out of your house, which means you will have to pay bills, you will have to pay rent, you will have to pay this and that and this and that, and then your transition. So, for instance, I saved up $5,000 before I started my transition. I had a job, and I got kicked out. And now my bank account is at $1,300. So I used a lot of money. Transition's not cheap, so you have to get that ready. So have that. And then community. Your friends are the first people you should come out to. I'm going to be honest with you in saying that, in my opinion, the first people you should come out to are your closest friends, because you want that support when you go to come out to your family, when you go to come out to the people who will have a major impact on your life when they say no or yes. That being said, your local GLBT areas are huge community for support. You need that. I feel that support is the largest thing you can possibly get in a transition. I feel that community is unduly important, and you need to have that. And then the third thing is you need to be able to kind of sort of predict the worst case scenario that your parents will follow along. The reason being, if you wait until you're 18, they may kick you out immediately or give you a little time. Or if you're under the age of 18, they may send you off. And this kind of segues to the second main topic, being if they reject you. When they reject you, you'll be out immediately. If you're over the age of 18, you'll be out immediately, or they'll give you a couple months. And that means you have to kickstart that whole plan that you just planned out all in a row. Just bam, 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 bam. If you're under the age of 18, you need your community to help you out a bit. I suggest you start thinking about how you want to come out to them and try to make it as little damaging as possible. And they may send you to live with someone else, or they may send you to live with ultra navy uncle who will like beat the femininity out of you, or you may end up going to live with aunt who can actually handle your transition, or they'll keep you there and try and ignore it. Regardless, I'm going to tell you, beating the femininity out doesn't work. We all know that. It does not work, and it's not okay, and it's not healthy. So you need to have a place that you can go for a while. You need to make sure things don't hit the fan as much. Try and keep it to a nonchalant manner. When people start yelling, excuse yourself. When people start challenging you, excuse yourself. You need to be as diplomatic as possible. Having said that, rejection is going to be a huge blow no matter what. So that community is also important, and we're here for you. We really are. Your online community is here, but we can't help you physically or financially. So your local community center would be the best bet. Now, under the third major topic, being that they accept you. This is awesome. This is great. This is unduly important, and it's rare. And it has one downside. Now, the whole thing with being rejected, such as me, I'm an example. I got kicked out of my dad's house. I was given a little bit of time, and I shotgunned it out of the gate for my transition. I shotgunned it. After a year and a month, I'm 4 months on hormones, which is pretty fast. That won't happen if your family is accepting you. It probably won't happen. If it does manage to happen, you are very lucky. Very lucky. And operating under worst case scenario, if they accept you, the thing with this is that they will be with you in your transition. With you, which means they'll be following you a little bit. They'll be kind of dragging you with it, unfortunately. So what that kind of means is, say for instance, one of my friends is currently going through her transition, and her parents have said they want to find her the therapist here in town. They won't find one here in town, but they refuse to accept that. She wants to go to the neighboring town, but they want to find it, so they have to come to it themselves. That being said, it will slow down your transition, and you have to accept that. You don't want to alienate your family if you kept your family. That's a gigantic asset, huge asset, very, very awesome. And I don't want to see you lose that. So just be careful. Now, in that transition, when you're going through your whole transition thing, and if your family has accepted and is following along with you, it's going to be slow, honestly. That's really all I can say. So that's my advice, pretty much. Try and make sure you're very prepared financially, socially, economically, emotionally, mentally, everything. And try and come out after the age of 18. If you cannot handle that, try and predict where you'll end up going, even though that's going to be very hard. Otherwise, try and come out as simple and under the belt as possible, like undercover as possible, like try and just slide it in there, and don't make a big deal out of it. That's pretty much all the advice that I have to give you. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. For everyone else, other than the person who was asking for the advice, this can apply to you. And what's more, you can apply your advice to the person who asked for advice. Down here in the comment section, give your advice, give your experiences, give your examples, and let them read that. It's very important that they get multiple views, and we would definitely appreciate it. While you're down there, also look into the description area for my survey, which would help me, help you, help me, help the community. And I look very forward to seeing you guys next week on Trans Youth Channel. This is Sunday, Samantha, and I am outie. Bye, guys.